So just walk us through this. How did it start? How does it end?
Where are Nick Smith thing?
The Nick Smith thing. Walk us through this just step by step.
Well, you have a Nick Smith, who obviously is regarded as the best basketball player in the state, and someone coming to the University of Arkansas next year, or at least is poised to do that. And he and his family decided to move to North Little Rock. During the spring or summer, ended up getting bought an actual home, not rent, but bought an actual home in North Little Rock, 3 miles away from the high school. So then he put in his papers to transfer. You have to, according to the AAA, have done that by July the 1st. That apparently was done. But since then, there has been it appears an entity, I won't say school because I'm not totally certain on it yet, who thought that was a movement for athletic purposes. And so filed something about that, or let it know it was going to be filed about that. Then North Little Rock filed a self-report. Basically, it comes all down to, did he transfer for athletic purposes? If everybody would agree that he didn't transfer for athletic purposes and signed a waiver sheet, he could play at the North Little Rock. And that still may work itself out, to understand there's a couple things going on today. May even get to court. So, but basically right now he's ineligible to play, or not eligible to play at North Little Rock. He's eligible to go to school and graduate there, and there's going to be more hearings and more evidence brought forth, and I'm sure that it will get taken care of. But will it get taken care of soon enough, to get him up when he plays up here in Bentonville on November 13th in the scrimmage game? That I'm not sure of.
Okay, so I very, very casually follow recruiting and all this stuff, but here is my read on this. When I hear this, if it may come down to academics, why can't North Little Rock just say he's got a class here that they don't have over there, and that's why he's here?
I guess they could, but if you're both in a certain school district, you may have the same class. I don't know about, I don't know about that. I've tried to dive into it, but it is one of those things, and Richard Davenport and I have done this. We both have come out and our heads are hurting because of all bylaws and all this. I don't think it's a AAA thing. The AAA is an institution, which is the governing body of Arkansas athletics, but it only does the rules that its members come up with. And what's on the books right now, the AAA has to rule him, it can't rule him eligible at North Little Rock. I understand there's a certain way if the Little Rock School District, if Sylvan Hills and North Little Rock will all sign a paper saying he did not do this for athletic purposes, or they'll all agree to, look the other way or whatever it is, then he could go ahead and play. But that hasn't been done yet. And Twitter, various people are going on Twitter saying things that, only igniting the situation. So I'm sure it's
Imagine that.
handled sooner
No
or later.
way.
Yeah. Sure, it's going to get handled sooner or later, but not till everybody calms down and gets in the room and talks about it, instead of, trying their Perry Mason case on Twitter.
So what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we're talking about ego here. You got bruised egos on one side, and then you've got, you're basically in a stare down. Now, I was just told that there's a second player from Sylvan Hills that transferred to North Little Rock, which is adding to some of this, a football player / basketball player. You know anything about that?
Yes, I think his name is DJ Jackson. So
how much if you're Sylvan Hills, you're going, hey, wait a minute, something's up.
Yeah, and here's what I would say. When I was talking with people, I'd use the scenario that if I was at Newport playing football and wanted to move to Batesville, how could I get eligible and all this kind of stuff. And there is a lot of transferring going on, not only in the Little Rock School District, but all over the state. There are various reasons given, whether it be religion, whether it be academics, whether it be environment and all these different things. A lot of them are improved. Very rarely is one of them a five-star basketball player who has played his previous 3 years at Sylvan Hills, and now here in the end, wants to go to a school and live in a city where he can play basketball along with Khalil Ware and others on the North Little Rock team that won the state last year.
Right. Dudley Dawson is our guest here on Ruskin and Zach. So, North Little Rock, is this Sylvan Hills Pulaski County district?
Yeah.
And North Little Rock has its own, is the North Little Rock. Is that right? Okay. All right.
That's my understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, what happens now? Like, where does this go? You mentioned there's could be some court proceedings that take place here.
If they don't get it settled before then, I would suspect that we will have a legal precedent set in the state of Arkansas that, but all that would take time. And maybe somebody will throw out an injunction and start playing, and then you have to forfeit games if it doesn't work out. It is, as I said, mind-numbing. And I think all this could have been handled much quicker if everybody had gotten together and been okay in the same room. But it seems like it's just shots from afar from so many different places, many who don't have anything to do with North Little Rock or Sylvan Hills, but they're trying to protect the vested interests of the state of Arkansas. I saw that one state senator today is now jumping in there, and oh boy, here we go.
Oh, yes, the legislature, known for their great decision-making down in Little Rock. Hey, why did this happen now? Is it because the season starts in 2 weeks?
No, apparently this has been in the process of being adjudicated for the time since he moved over in July. But, they just got around to taking it to the AAA and getting their advisement on the situation. The AAA ruled what its bylaws say, and that's the one thing I'm certain about. What's on the books would lead you to believe that he is not eligible to play at North Little Rock. But there are caveats in those rules where everybody just has to agree, and we'll see if everybody does that because, as I said, whether it be Sylvan Hills, North Little Rock Parkview, all different places down there, there's people who transferred all over the place. Not many of them have been this high profile, but many of them have been approved. Many of them haven't.
Right.
Little Rock Parkview had a football player this year that moved, and he has been ineligible, and that's why they had to forfeit, a game or two there early.
No.
So, best case scenario, this thing gets resolved, everything goes away, and Nick Smith plays for North Little Rock. If that doesn't happen, if this thing gets prolonged, does he have any options, or is he just going to have to sit until it does?
Here's the if you're a Razorback fan, here's the cataclysmic thing that could happen. He decides, screw this, I was offered $400,000, $500,000 to play in overtime elite, and I'll just go ahead and do that. And then he loses his amateur status, and he doesn't come here. You could also go to a prep school, whether it be, Link Prep Academy in Branson or any other place, and play there. He is only ineligible to play only not eligible to play at North Little Rock right now. He is eligible to go to school. So he has various options. And, like I said, I think somebody will break and it'll get worked out, and somebody will promise somebody else something. And,
yeah,
a guard to be named later, or a quarterback, something like that. I think it'll get worked out in the end. But if it doesn't, he certainly has some options. And, again, you go back, if you want him to play at the University of Arkansas, you're probably hoping it gets taken care of. But that being said, it can't be adjudicated just because of that. If it was somebody who, was a holder on a football team, and this is the same situation, you all have to follow the same rules, and you all have to go through the hurdles to get to where you want to be, if that's it. So while, I like the kid and think he's a heck of a basketball player, again, the holder should get as much protection as should the five-star basketball player.
So basically, someone's got to sign off on this, or if Nick Smith were, as you said in the doomsday scenario, leave, and then the wrath of Razorback Nation will rain down on these people who couldn't get the signatures done, more or less.
Right. And I think in the end, what's going to happen to me is somebody's going to threaten to file a lawsuit, and names would come out then, and people probably don't want those names to come out. So
I see.
Yeah, when the sunlight gets shown on this thing, then people start moving. Okay, that makes perfect sense. This is all about ego, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't want to play for us? Come on.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
You don't want to play for us. We're not going to let you play for them. It's basically what it sounds like to me.
I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying that all of y'all could have stepped through this thing cleaner and got it done. So.
Yes, definitely. All right. Well, if we need more on this as this continues to develop, we'll of course be in touch. Thank you, Dudley.
Thanks, Dud.
You bet. Go Braves, because of the happy wife, happy life.
That's exactly right. Yes, that's right. Dudley Dawson, Hawgs Illustrated, Whole Hog Sports.
Hopefully that explains
with us.
We're back and better than ever. A new web interface to start the basketball season and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all basketball and football action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV50 to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, and baseball postseason, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.